2000 United States Senate election in New Jersey. The 2000 United States Senate election in New Jersey was held on November 7, 2000. Incumbent Democratic U.S. Senator Frank Lautenberg decided to retire, rather than seeking a fourth term. The Democratic nominee, former CEO of Goldman Sachs John Corzine, defeated the Republican nominee U.S. Representative Bob Franks in a close election. Background: Senator Frank R. Lautenberg was first elected to the Senate in 1982 in an upset victory over Rep. In his two re-election bids, Lautenberg had always been an underdog. He beat Pete Dawkins in 1988 by a 54%-46% margin and held back a challenge from Assembly Speaker Chuck Haytayan by a smaller margin of 50%-47%. However, popular Governor Christine Todd Whitman was expected to challenge Lautenberg, and opinion polls showed Lautenberg losing by a large margin. Lautenberg retired in 2000, but later regretted his decision because both Whitman and former Governor Tom Keene both declined to run for the Senate. Lautenberg would be elected to New Jersey's other Senate seat in 2002 after his colleague, Senator Robert Torricelli, resigned in disgrace. Democratic primary candidates: John Corzine, former CEO of Goldman Sachs; James Florio, former governor of New Jersey and U.S. Representative from Camden, withdrew. Frank Lautenberg, incumbent senator since 1983, declined. Thomas Byon, former chair of the New Jersey Democratic Committee; Frank Pallone, U.S. Representative from Long Branch. Polling. Campaign: Corzine spent $35 million of his fortunes into this primary election alone. Governor Florio was unpopular during his tenure in office. He signed a $2.08 billion tax increase in 1990, which resulted in Republicans winning control of the legislature in 1991, and his re-election loss in the 1993 gubernatorial election to Christine Todd Whitman. Endorsements: Corzine was endorsed by state senators Raymond Zane, Wayne Bryant, and John Adler. He was also endorsed by U.S. Representative Bob Menendez and U.S. Senator Robert Torricelli. Florio was endorsed by the New Jersey Democratic Party, Assemblyman Joseph Doria, and State Senator John A. Lynch, Jr. Results: Republican primary candidates: William Gormley, State Senator; Bob Franks, U.S. Representative from Summit; Murray Sabrin, Libertarian nominee for governor in 1997, T7, James Treffinger, Essex County Executive and former mayor of Verona, withdrew. Christine Todd Whitman, governor of New Jersey since 1994, declined. Steve Forbes, publisher of Forbes and candidate for president in 1996, ran for president. Frank Lautenberg, U.S. Representative from Venter City. Polling. Results: General election candidates: John Corzine, Democratic, former CEO of Goldman Sachs; Bob Franks, Republican, U.S. Representative from Summit; Bruce Fran Green; Dennis A. Breen, Independent; J. M. Carter, Trust in God, Vetted in God; Pat Dinizio, Reform; Emerson Elliott, Libertarian; George Gustajan, God Bless, and J. Hayes and J. Lorraine Lanieve, Conservative; Gregory Passon, Socialist; Nancy Rostock, Socialist Workers. Campaign: Franks, a moderate Republican, attacked Corzine for trying to buy the election and of advocating big government spending programs that the nation can ill afford. Corzine accused Franks of wanting to dismantle the Social Security system because he supported Governor George W. Bush's partial privatization plan. During the campaign, Corzine refused to release his income tax return records. He claimed an interest in doing so, but he cited a confidentiality agreement with Goldman Sachs. Skeptics argued that he should have followed the example of his predecessor Robert Rubin, who converted his equity stake into debt upon leaving Goldman. Corzine campaigned for state government programs including universal health care, universal gun registration, mandatory public preschool, and more taxpayer funding for college education. He pushed affirmative action and same-sex marriage. David Brooks considered Corzine so liberal that, although his predecessor was also a Democrat, his election helped shift the Senate to the left. During Corzine's campaign for the United States Senate, he made some controversial off-color statements. When introduced to a man with an Italian name who said he was in the construction business, Corzine quipped, "Oh, you make cement shoes," according to Emmanuel Alfano, chairman of the Italian-American One Voice Committee. Alfano also reported that when introduced to a lawyer named David Stein, Corzine said, "He's not Italian, is he, El? I guess he's your Jewish lawyer who is here to get the rest of you out of jail." Corzine denied mentioning religion, but did not deny the quip about Italians, claiming that some of his own ancestors were probably Italian, or maybe French. Some alleged that Corzine had exchanged endorsements from black ministers for donations after a foundation controlled by him and his wife donated $25,000 to an influential black church. Reverend Reginald T. Jackson, the director of the Black Ministers' Council, and a notable advocate against racial profiling against minority drivers in traffic stops, was criticized for endorsing Corzine after receiving a large donation from the then candidate. Franks generally trailed Corzine in the polls until the final week, when he pulled even in a few polls. Corzine spent $63 million, while Franks spent only $6 million. Despite being heavily outspent, Franks lost by only 3 percentage points, doing better that year than Republican Governor George W. Bush in the presidential election, who obtained just 40% of the vote in the state. Debates. Complete video of debate, October 7, 2000. Complete video of debate, October 8, 2000. Complete video of debate, October 13, 2000. Complete video of debate, October 20, 2000. Polling. Results.